Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to use ActiveCampaign to make a great looking landing page for your website. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for future videos. Right guys, from the ActiveCampaign homepage you're going to have to click on Sites. Wait for the page to load, and once it does, click on Add New Page and click on Blank Page. Next, you're going to have to add the name of your page. Personal trainer. There you go. Once it's done, click Save. So there you have it. You've created your first landing page. On the right hand side here, it's all the widgets you can use to start padding out your landing page and making it look really good. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is add an image to the top here. So we're going to click on the edge of the bar. And we're going to go down and click on background. Click on the plus key and select images. And all these have been uploaded previously. I'm going to select the first one now. If you want to upload them, just click on the button here and click OK. And then we're going to drag this section down. So there you go. We've got the first part of our background ready. What we're going to do now is start adding extra elements to the photo. So we're going to drop the navigation bar in. We're going to give it a double click. And on the right hand side here is how you change the style of it all. So you got at the bottom there the margins, stuff like that. But the first thing we're going to click on is the button that makes the logo on the site bigger. So we're going to click on the right hand side here. And then we're going to click underneath on the right again to make it so the writing falls on the right hand side. And we're going to add our logo now as well. So we're going to select this one and upload it. And as you can see on the left hand side here, it's added our logo and we've got the home button on the right there. Now I'm going to change the colour of the text. I don't like that blue, so I want to change it something that fits in with the site. I've clicked on theme in the top right hand side, and to change that colour we need to click on the top blue one where it says colour palette. You can also change the colour of the links here as well and the regular text, but for now all we're going to do is change the header. So we're going to select on a yellow that kind of matches the sparkles in the background. So we're going to go up and drag it along to the brightest yellow. And that kind of represents and looks a bit like what it is in the picture. Now I'm going to drop some extra elements into this top header. So we're going to click on row, drag that in, drag another one in. And now we're going to just drag in some text. I'm going to quickly go back to theme and change the colour of the text this time because I can't see it. Make it white, shall we, just for now, and then we'll come back and correct it later. We'll also change the colour of the links if we use any, so I'll make them different and use a green this time, I think. Whilst I'm here I may as well also change the background colour, so I'll change that to a black. And then we're going to go back to the elements and we're going to double click on the text. And what I'm going to do now is adjust where it sits on the page, so I'm just going to drag it in and slide it across. And instead of having spaces, what you do is just drag down here like that, and it just makes a little spacer in between the text. What I'll start doing now is adding something like a subscribe button, and we drop that in, and again we can just click on it and slide it in and just drag it along to the side and align it with the text. And now I think we'll pad it out a little bit more and add something along the lines of, we'll put a counter in. We'll put a timer on there, and again click on it, drag it up, and you just double tap on it and drag it in and align it with the rest of the text. You can see how easy it is just to move these sections around and space them out as much as you need to, and correct other little bits of areas, so when the picture gets pushed out like this you can just drag it upwards and make it sort of fit into the page where you need it to be. I think it's nice that ActiveCampaign have actually spent time and made it easy for everyone to use. Just move this page up again slightly to centre it. And what I think we'll add now is maybe a header. So we'll click on the tick, drag the header in, drop it into that box, and then double tap on it. There you go, and we'll change the alignment to the left, and we'll change also the colour of it. We'll select the same yellow we're using. If you click off of it you can see the changes been made there. Double tap on the text and change the colour again. What I think I'll do now is drag the header down slightly and just make it so there's a bit of space in between the site logo and the header. And I think that's probably going to do us now for the top half, at least for now. We'll come back and correct it later, so we're going to start padding out the bottom of our page. But what I do want to do is drop a section in here and add a divide so there's a clear break in the page. I'll grab a couple more sections now, drop those in at the bottom. I think probably 3 will do it just to get us started. And then we'll add to those later as well. And I'll grab probably a header this time and just drop that in so we can start our next section of the page. I'm going to grab an image now and drop that in under the header. And I'm going to make this section for personal training. So I'm going to select that image and take it and drop it down into the box. And then to make it smaller, we just drag it in like we did the text. Make it a little bit smaller still and slide it over to align it to the left. And next to that image, I want to add some text. So I'm going to get one of the columns and I'm going to slide that in just next to the picture and grab the paragraph widget and drop that in that box. I want to make sure the colours match the rest of the page. So I'm going to double click on the header and select the colour picker on the right here, select the yellow and do the same for the text. So double click, select the colour picker and click the yellow. And I just want to make sure it lines up nicely on the side, give it a little bit of a margin, so you just click on it and drag it over. We also might want to add another service, so we might be doing, I don't know, gym training. So we're going to drop another image in just in the section here, grab the picture we want to use and insert it and change the side again by just dragging it in and sliding it over. I want to add some more text again now, so I'm going to grab the column, drop it in on the left and grab the paragraph widget and drop that inside. And I'm going to change the color of the text as well, so just double click on the text, click the color picker and choose the yellow we've been using for the rest of the theme. Next I'm going to add a section at the bottom here, going to drag that in and add a divide as well, because that's the 2 offers we're going to advertise to our customers in our marketing campaign. So I'm going to drop a section in at the bottom just to keep a placeholder for our next bit of text. I want to add a couple of headers next to these images as well now, so I'll just drag them over again, drop them at the top and drag one over onto the next image as well. And if I double click, choose the colour, I'm going to make it a H3 header this time, so just click it on there. I'm going to drag it over to the left hand side and just align that with the rest of the text. Also going to do it with the top one as well. Double click, choose the colour. I'm going to just drag it in a little bit. Change the size of the H3 header as well now. And just drag that across like we did the one underneath. There you go, just drag it in and it's aligned. Moving on now, on this bottom section, I'm going to add a counter and I'm also going to add a call to action. So we're going to go for the subscribe button again. I'm going to just drop that in there and I'm going to grab a couple of sections from the top just to pad it out at the bottom so we can add more information later on. And if we don't use them, we can drop these and delete them. I'm going to make this counter smaller, so just click on it again, drag it in. And I think I'm going to make the subscribe button smaller as well. So just drag it in again. There you go. And I'm going to add some text just underneath the counter as well. Double click on it. And change the colour again to match the rest of the theme. I also want to make this text in line with the boxes. So I'm just going to drag it in. And I want to put a bit of space in between the two as well. So I'm just going to pull the actual section down. Drag it up again slightly. There you go. I think this is all I want to add to this section. So I'm going to drag a divide in now to make a page break. And what I'm going to do next, I think, is I'm going to change the colour of the footer. So we're going to make a footer now. Just select on the section and click on the colour in the top corner. There you go. We're just going to use the same theme and drag that section down. I want to add some text into this bottom section now, so I'm going to go back to the widgets, grab the paragraph widget and drag and drop it into the bottom of our footer. And I'm also going to add some social media icons now as well. I can't see the colour of the text either, so I'm going to double click on it now, and I'm going to select on the black in the colour picker, and I'm going to also centre align it as well with the rest of the page. Just click on the centre there. And I also want to make a space in between the text and the social media icons, and then add a couple more while I'm at it. So if you click on the plus key here, you can select all the different types of social media. So add Instagram, and I'll choose another one at random. So scroll down and just select that one. I want to add a header as well here. So I'm going to go back into the widgets, grab a header and just drop it in at the top here. And double tap on it and change the colour to black so we can see it. I think this is all I'm going to add to the landing page. I'm going to start linking some of the sections with the navigation bar at the top. So I'm going to scroll up to the top now and double click in the navigation bar. I'm going to click on the plus key here on the right hand side, and that's going to add 3 links on the top row there. And these are going to be the anchor links to our sections. So double click on the text. And I'm going to type in courses here. And what I'm going to do is use this as a reference point further down. So I'm going to call this section here courses in this header. Double click again. And I'm looking for ID here. And I'm going to use that as our anchor reference. Type in courses. And then what I'm going to do is scroll to the top of the page and select the first word, courses, double click and click on the navigation and jump to. And I'm going to select courses. And that's how you create an anchor point to a particular section in a navigation bar. I'm also going to change the name of the header in the courses section. So I'm going to scroll down now and double click on the text and change the words to courses. I'm also going to I also want to add a header to the subscription area. So I'm going to drag a header in. And I'm going to change the colour again like we did. Double click, change the colour to yellow, and I'm going to type subscribe in the box. Whilst I'm here, I'm going to add subscribe to the section ID, and just makes it easier so we can link back in the navigation bar as an anchor point later on. Whilst we're at the bottom of the page, I may as well change the title of the social media header. And after, I'm going to change the section ID again for our anchor point. Social media, and then we go up again, section, and we're going to call this social media. Social media. And afterwards I'm going to scroll up and we're going to set our anchor points on the top. So double click in the middle, put in our section titles, so double click, start typing in the box, and I'm going to call this one subscribe. And the final one we're going to double click on now is we're going to change that to social media. Type in social media. Now we're going to set our anchor points. So we're going to go over to the top one and change the subscribe, navigate to, jump to, and we're going to select subscribe. And we're going to do it for the final social media one as well. So we're just going to click on navigate to, jump to, and we're going to select social media. And that's our landing page pretty much finished. All we're going to do now is start tidying up and putting in the finishing touches. So we're going to change the header title. We're going to change it, I don't know, to Pro Training, I think. So we're going to name our landing page. And next we're going to change the text underneath. So we're going to make that kind of like a selling point and put something like a catchy title or catchy bit of text that people will remember. This can be anything you want. I'm going to put something made up. So this is the best, I don't know, the best training plan you'll ever find. And we'll just type that in here. Something I haven't shown you is you can change how opaque things are. So that could be images, stuff like that. If we go down to the right hand bottom corner here and just drag this bar across, you can see that the text will become a bit more see-through. I'm going to start by cleaning up this bottom piece now, so just to get it where we want to finish, and I'm going to drag this text down and move the bottom section up. And as I say, I just want to move on from this section there and just try and get the page a little bit more finished. Just select here and drag that up to where I want it. That kind of looks about right. Around there. I also want people to be diverted as well once they've submitted their information. So if I scroll down here on the right, I can select on this bottom box that will divert someone once they've submitted their details to a site that we want them to go to. Okay, so that's the top section done now. I'm not going to change any more. You can obviously yourself add more text and just put whatever you want in there, but I'm going to move on now further down the page. And I'm going to go to the courses section and start tidying this up and change the title here. I'm going to double click the title now. And I'm going to change it to personal training. And I'm going to type something really random like get your trainer here, or get your personal trainer here, or get your personal trainer. You can obviously be more creative than I am. I'm just trying to get it done as quickly as possible to show you as much as I can. Moving down to the next title, we're going to call this one, I think, something along the lines of one-on-one training or one-on-one coaching. There you go. So we'll start typing it in, double click again. We'll type in one-on-one coaching. And I'm just going to change the alignment on these two sections as well now, just so they sit nicely on the page. Just drag it across a little bit more. And I'll do the personal training one as well. Just drag that in a little bit, just like that. Going to change this text, so double click inside the text box. Again, type in something totally random now. I'm going to type in, I will help you get fit in record time. I can type faster than this, I just don't want to make a mistake, that's all. I want to underline these headers as well, so just give them a double click and just click on the U with the line underneath. Same again with a personal trainer. And we're going to scroll down now to the subscribe section. And we're going to change this text. I'll give it a double click and I'll just type in subscribe today. And to finish all the text off, I'm going to go down now to the social media part. And I'm going to change this text to follow my social media. Not very original, but I will keep it very short just so we can move on further into the video. The last thing we need to do now is go down to the social media and start linking our accounts. I'm only going to do the one. I'll change that to Facebook and I'll call it Pro Gym. You can obviously add more or less depending on what social media accounts you've got. Well, that's it, guys. All that's left to do is publish our page. So we're going to scroll to the top and click Publish Page. Once it has been successfully done, you can view the page, and there you have it. That's our finished page. As you can see, it has been super easy to build this page. There's nothing technical, no coding or any sort of tricky, complicated jargon. If you are looking to build a landing page with ActiveCampaign, then please do use the link in the description below. It is an affiliate link, it doesn't cost you any more to use, but it does give me a very small percentage of ActiveCampaign's profits. Please do like and subscribe, and if you've got any questions, hit me up in the comments box below.